video. Good morning. Today is January 17, options expiration date, and we just broke. So first of all, let me start by saying that yesterday we attempted to break lower and we couldn't on ES, and Q did at the end of the day break that previous low. But then, like, you could see that, first of all, this on NQ was a good entry point, right? Like, if you look at the longer time frame, like, this was the low volume node, took that low, fell to hold below it. So immediately, this, like, that was a good buying spot, right? I bought it last night. I thought about holding until the 350. Then, you know, I trailed a little too tight. Then I got stopped out and took a small profit. But, you know, that was a good entry with a low risk. You know, stop below the low and then go back to the point of control, right? And then you see that this is a look below and fell, so we should target the other side of the range, which we did, right? On ES, you could see that that we had that low volume here that held. So you know, then we came back to the top of the range and we just broke above it. And I was saying this morning that the 6,000 strike on SPX has a lot of volume, and that's likely to be a magnet, and we're pretty close to it right now. At the open, we're gonna be right below it, right? And the targets are similar to yesterday, because yesterday we couldn't get above you know, above 6,004, which was one of my targets. And so now we're just like attempting to retest the previous week's high, but because we're close to the 6,000 strike, I think that we're gonna stall a little bit. Also on options expiration, usually you have a little bit of a pullback right before the open, so it could be that this is a breakout that ends up stalling there and then coming back into the 20-day point of control, which now has shifted to 59.88 right here. And for NQ, it's at 21,350, although we could move higher here to 21,400 also. So if we don't get a pullback, if we squeeze above the 6,000 strike, then target is previous week's high and maybe even higher, retesting this area around the 60-80. But you know, we're opening with a gap up above RTH gap, and filling that gap. Inventory is maybe 95% long, so filling that gap brings us back to 6,004, and at that point, you know, we could see a retest of that point of control at 59.88. So watch that. Watch how, if those single prints hold or not, or if we get that pullback that we usually get a few minutes before options expiration. And that's pretty much it. I don't think we have any more news. We just had some at 9:15. No, we don't have any more news for today. So sometimes I see that during OPEX, we have a big move, but then it just stalls, and then, you know, we just do nothing for a while. So that's a possibility too, that we just balance here. We attempt to fill the gap and we just have a hard time because we left all the single prints here. So just let's take it level to level and watch those volume areas to see how traders respond to those. Right now we're trading right at that. We just fill those single prints and then we're trading right at that low volume node. If we move higher, then we have 60-40 is the target, and which coincides with that 6,000 strike more or less. And for NQ we have 21.7. No, what is this? 21.735-ish right here. You can see the high volume node right there, a little above that. Okay, and crude oil. So crude had hold on, sorry about my screen being back and forth, but look at those. Look at this 79.20. That's a level to keep an eye on. We had a big size doing business there, and then we finally got a pullback back below 78. So watch this area for supports at 76.40, and then this area between 76.40 to 78.40, and then below that, we have this is like a little bit of a transition area, and below that the 20-day point of control is still down here, but I think it's about to shift somewhere around here. Gold moved above that resistance area and now is pulling back below it, but if it gets back above these highs, watch for this 27.75, and below that back to 27.05. All right, good luck and have a great weekend.